Welcome back to another episode of A Creative Mind and Success. Yes, I butchered the name, but anyways, for those of you guys who don't know, my name is Ian, and today we are going to be bringing you episode 3 of our book and our series. A series where we bring you awesome books and make it fun and educational. We like to learn. So, nobody wants to read anymore. They want to be entertained. So, I'm here to do that. So, the basic structure of our videos is we're going to go over the last video's lesson just to make sure it sinks in. And then we are going to go in today's reading and then we're going to analyze it. So, this stuff is going to be repeated in your mind so many times, you won't ever have to worry about forgetting it, because I'm going to make sure that you don't. So, without further ado, last last video's lesson. So, man, I just came back from the Southwest Recreation Center. I met 3 new people today. I recommend for you, if you want to make friends, you can make them. Just go out there and you will have them. All you have to do is create it, and it will be yours. So, I met 3 new people today. I'm usually not that social, so now I am, because I said I am, and that's my thoughts. More on that in today's lesson. Okay, here we go. So, last time's lesson, what life is. So we established that we see, hear, feel, touch. We have senses, so we know that we're alive, okay? And we established that thought is interactivity. So, your mind, use it wisely. What else did we say? Yes, we said that this interactivity is what God uses to create things. So God uses his mind and creates the universe, okay? So we had this wonderful drawing last time. It's so beautiful. God says that he wants a cat, so there it is. Alright, so, okay, I'm forgetting the lesson. I got distracted by the drawing. The lesson was that all of life, all of this surrounding thing, God creates from that. And he's included in that. So, he makes things out of himself, basically, if that makes sense. And I tried to show that with the picture. Like, he's included of all that is, and he used that life to create something. So he created it out of himself, okay? Today's lesson. We got a little bit of reading, so don't look at the picture, okay? It's a surprise. Alright, so let's start. Man's place in creation. But where does man come in? He is. Therefore it follows that he too is made of God, since God or spirit is all. Being made of God, he must partake of his nature, for we are made in his image. Man is the center of God in God. Whatever God is in the universal, man must be in the individual world. The difference between God and man is one of degree, and not of quality. Man is not self-made. He is made out of God. The question might arise, why did God do this? No living person can answer this question. This is something that can only be known of the Father. We might suppose that God made man to live with him, and to enjoy with him, to be one with the Father. It is true indeed that those who have felt this the most deeply have had a corresponding spiritual power that leads us to suppose that God really did make man as a companion. Man is the individual and God is the universal. As the Father hath life within himself. Man's mind is made out of God's mind, and all that man is or ever will be, all that he has or ever will have, must partake of the divine nature. Man did not make it so, but it is so, and he must accept that face and see what he can do with it. If he has the same power in his individual life that God has in the universal, then this discovery will mean freedom from all bondage when he learns how to use his power. As God governs his universal world, so will man govern his individual world, always subject to the greater law in life. This could not be otherwise if we realize what follows from it. For so realizing we find ourselves living in a very different world from the one which we thought we were living. God governs not through physical law as a result, but first by inner knowing. Then the physical follows. In the same way, man governs his world by the process which we will call, for want of a better name, the power of his thought. That's awesome. And all this stuff that I already highlighted, sorry for the interruption, I've highlighted this beforehand, so pay extra close attention. Man's inner life is one with the Father. There can be no separation, for the self-evident reason that there is nothing to separate him from God, because there is nothing but life. The separation of two things implies putting a different element between them. But as there is nothing different from God, the unity of God and man is firmly established forever. My Father and I are one is a simple statement of a great soul who perceived life as it really is and not from the mere standpoint of outer conditions. Taking as the starting point that man has the same life as God, it follows that he used the same creative process. Everything is one, comes from the same source, and returns again to it. The things which are seen are not made of things which do appear. What we see comes from what we do not see. This is the explanation of the whole visible universe, and it is the only possible explanation. As God's thoughts makes worlds and peoples them with all living things, so does our thought make our world and peoples it with all the experiences we have had. By the activity of our thought, things come into our life, and we are limited because we have not known the truth. We have thought that outside things control us, when all the time we have had that within, which could have changed everything and given us freedom from bondage. The question then naturally arises, why did God create man and make him a free agent? If God has created us in such a way as to compel us to do or to be anything that was not of our choosing, we should not have been made as individuals at all. We should be automatons. Since we do know that we're individuals, we know that God made us thus, and we are just discovering the reason why. Let any man wake up to this, the greatest truth in all ages, and he will find it will answer all questions. He will be satisfied that things are the way they are. He will perceive that he may use God-given power to work, to think and live, that he will in no way hinder the greater power from operating through him. According to the clearness of his perception and the greatness of his realization of this power, he provide within himself. There will no longer be a sense of separation, but in its place will come that divine assurance that he is one with God, and thus he will find his freedom from all suffering. whether it be a body, mind, or a state. That's powerful. Okay? So, let's see. All right, let's look at what we have our artwork. Okay, this art is great. So, our first piece of art. Look at this. So, it's a guy. We can scroll down a little bit more so you can see. So now you can see that it says man and made in God's image. So I kind of made this the surrounding of gods as the same thing as a man to show that like man is life, is God. And another thing that I just saw here, because when you read things multiple times, you find out new things. It's great, okay? So always read things multiple times. If you have a book you really like, you can read it as many times as you want, and you're going to learn something each time. Anyways, so this is what I liked here. The difference between God and man is one of degree and not of quality. So we are the same thing. It's just God has a higher degree of power than we do. We have control over our lives, and God has control over the universe, basically. Okay? So I like that. I like this picture we have here. So let's continue. So we have an arrow drawing from the man, and we have some cold hard facts, okay? No pictures this time. We have cold hard facts. So, if God is powerful, then man is too. Remember I said, not in quality we're different, only in degree. So, God is powerful, so we're powerful. Just not the same power, but we have the same quality, okay? If God can control the universe, then a man can control his life. So that's the degree. Alright, so let's go to the next point. We have pictures here. No more cold hard facts, okay? So, we have this picture. It says, first this, then this. Because in the text, it was talking about how God or man thinks something before it comes into reality. Let's look at the exact thing. It says, by the activity of our thought, things come into our life. I want to see where... Okay. I'm just giving you guys time to process, okay? It's not taking me this long to find something. Okay. Anyways. First this, then this. That's all you need to know, okay? You can control things by the power of the thought. So, the interactivity comes first, then the physical, okay? So, you really want to focus on... Let's make a purple border. You want to focus on this. Because this will lead to this. I don't know why this is... Oh, it's because I'm in highlighter mode. Oops. There's no mistakes. So, your thoughts in your mind, if it leads to your physical reality, then you want to use it constructively, okay? Never think something that you don't want to happen. And there will be more in the future lessons explaining this, but it's really important that you know that first things come to your mind, or you think of something, or you feel something, it's inner, and then it reflects on the outer. And that's going to make more sense as you keep learning. So use your mind and your thoughts constructively, be aware of them, and consciously use them. Be aware of what you're thinking, because it is your choice, if you make it your choice. If you're constantly watching over your thoughts, and you're having thoughts that you want, then you can choose. And then my last message, choose freedom, because the text said that man will be free from all bondage if he realizes his power. So choose freedom. That is the message for today, and I hope that all is well, and you have a nice rest of your day. Peace.